Morning. It's not a good morning if you are trying to figure out what bill to pay, whether it's your electric bill, your gas bill, or your rent or mortgage. It's crazy, Paul. I'm hearing from so many people who are shell shocked. They are scared because they're looking at $1,000
Oh,
increases in their gas bills.
well, Carl, the slogan is, should I eat or should I heat? I mean, it seems for a lot of people,
Yes.
it's the choice. That's so you went out and because you're hearing. I thought it was hysterical that the governor's saying, "I'm going to get federal insight into what's going on," when he's basically oversight of what he's supposed to be in charge of. But
This is like a bank robber showing up after the bank's been robbed, and everyone knows it's him. And he announces, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call for an investigation into who did this, and frankly, I'm going to lead that investigation." The guy is gaslighting in an epic way, but again, with rare exception, KUSI being one of them. Liberal media outlets in California, they will go along with this scam and they will not report the truth, which is why I commissioned this independent analysis of the electric and gas rates from all the California utilities. And Paul, this is not hard to figure out. All of the utilities have to file their rate cases with the California Public Utilities Commission. And while the media and the politicians on the left will blame the utilities, the rates are actually imposed on the utilities by the politicians through the California Public Utilities Commission, their appointees, and their profit margins are actually capped. So we had to do a deep dive into these charges on your bill. And what we found is about 30% of your bill, your regular bill, is for what we call hidden state taxes. These are fees and charges that the state imposes and is passed through to ratepayers, and it goes to government programs. Some of these government programs, Paul, are just so offensive. One program raises your rates so that people who can't afford to pay their bill or just decide not to pay their bill, you're literally paying for your neighbor's bill down the street with higher rates. Another program gives your neighbor free windows, free appliances in the name of climate change and energy efficiency. Guess what? You're paying for that too. So these are all hidden taxes that we think are unjustified and need to go away. That would drop your regular rates by about a third. But here's the other thing that's happening. California politicians are constricting the production of energy and the pumping of natural gas. 85% of our natural gas now in California comes from outside the state because of climate change regulations. And so when you do have a sudden disruption, and there was a disruption in December going into January, there was a nationwide freeze, and there was a pipeline disruption in El Paso, Texas. Then you have to have proper reserves. You have to be able to store natural gas. PG&E did away with their storage 5 years ago because California politicians told them, we're getting out of the natural gas business. You guys have maybe 10 more years. We're going to ban natural gas appliances. So all of these utilities, Paul, are not storing natural gas because they know that it's not going to be economically viable for them. They're not going to invest in storage or infrastructure. And so a lot of this is driven by the policies adopted by state politicians.
Carl, allow me two more questions in the time that we have left. One, is the federal oversight going to discover the same thing that you discovered, or are they going to come up with a whole different set of reasons?
I think the bureaucrats in Washington are probably looking at themselves right now saying, like, is he an idiot or is he just a liar? And, Gavin Newsom is a combination of both. They get the joke. They know that all of these rates have been imposed by state politicians on the utilities. Now, the utilities are not speaking out because what do they care? If they get regulated, they simply pass the cost on to you and me. Their profit is guaranteed by the politicians. So it's like a terrorist, a kidnapping situation where basically they're doing a hostage video whenever they go in front of cameras saying, yeah, it was a supply disruption. No, these are all policies that were driven. One last example. We compared California electric rates and gas rates with the national average. So my goal is to just have California as screwed up as the rest of the country on average. If you just adopted the same rate structure as the average in the nation, we could reduce rates right now by 67.8% on electricity and 30.1% on gas. These are savings that would immediately make a difference to California families.
Oh man, come on! I make a decent living, but I'm getting crushed. I don't know how people do it. Carl, slightly off topic. If I ran as a politician and my platform was one new refinery, one new nuclear plant, and one new reservoir every year while I'm in office, could I win?
Oh, the media and the Democrats would say that you're killing the environment, that you're angry, that you're mean. By the way, they'll call you a racist and a homophobe at the same time. This is how laughable our politics have become. Here we're talking about utility bills, real pain and suffering for every family, whether you're a Democrat, independent, or a Republican. Every family sees these bills as unjustified and not sustainable. I mean, it's impossible. And yet the same politicians that say, vote for me because I put my personal pronouns in my social media account, those are the politicians getting favored treatment by the media, and they're ultimately getting elected. So until the voters wake up and realize they're getting scammed, it's hard for a Paul Rudy to run and win because you just got too much common sense, my friend.
Well, yeah, and I went past the background check, but I think that was a long way of saying no, I could not win with that platform.
I think that we need more people to actually run on that sort of platform and say, look, let me tell you why your rates are so high, and here's a solution. Why your water rates are so high, or that you're told that you're going to get fined if you water your grass, and here's a solution. I think that we need some more truth tellers to get out there and challenge the media. Ask them, are you just lazy and that you don't want to report this, or are you in on the con? Are you in on the bad policy here? And you're doing a grave disservice to your listeners and your viewers. So I think we have to have more people that are going to speak truth to power. You do it every day here on KUSI. Maybe we can talk after.
You don't want me.
I'm recruiting candidates, buddy.
No, you don't want me.
If you got a pulse and you have integrity, I'll take you.
Carl, I wanted our next conversation is going to be on a topic that we talked about over the phone as it relates to a certain state Senate race. So please put that in your quiver and let's make that a conversation.
I'll come back. Absolutely. Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.